Hey guys, my name is Frank J. Campbell, and I want to officially announce my presidency run for 2024. Okay, guys, my nickname is Franklin Turtle, and I thought I'd make a little bit better video this time. Maybe you guys will be able to hear me a little bit better. Still chose the mask because I kind of want to keep up appearances and whatnot. Um, there's a few things that I'm running on, and my three key points is healthcare. Second one's drugs, and the third one is guns. Um, and then there's a lot of other points that reach in debates and stuff if I do make it that far. Um, but the first one I want to talk about is healthcare, and I think that's a big problem that's wrong with our country today. Is we don't take care of each other. We're not community based. We're not family oriented like we should. We're losing touch with our moral values and stuff. And yeah, that's good to a point that we're not all just split up. But the point is that even though we're all split up, we're not coming back together as a whole. I think the whole country should be one family. Um, Obviously, it's never gonna work, but it's a good start and a good point, and I think that has to do with taking care of each other, like the action. Some people standing up and being pillars in their community, running for office, stuff like that, take holding key positions of responsibility will show others action that they want to be they're part of their family, or they're looking out for their best interest. And I think that, and the first thing that we can do to each other is take care of each other, make sure the whole country's healthy, and address that. And that's where the free healthcare comes in. And I believe that a lot of doctors, not necessarily get overpaid, but there is a lot of Medicaid fraud and stuff like that. This will help cut that down, and make sure our country is right for to go out into the world and show a leading example. Because there's a lot of other countries that do it, and we uh, obviously are in a deficit right now, and our money is coming from the World Bank, and that's a big problem. You know what I mean? Because we could be spending that on other stuff instead of having to pay back these loans, and it's just a vicious cycle that started back in the Depression when the dollar collapsed and we went from the gold standard back to the GOP standard where the people back the money, and I want to get away from that, but I don't want to ruffle no feathers. You know what I mean? So that's not one thing that I'm going to run for my campaign, but I think it has to do with why the country's not healthy. We're just because we think we can just print as much money as we want. People don't understand where most of the money actually comes from and why there's taxes and stuff like that. Okay, and I think if everybody was healthy and taken care of, and there'd be key positions in the medical field that are paid by the government. I mean, and that would it keep a monopoly out on the designer drugs that are coming out from the pharmaceutical companies because obviously drugs is a big problem in the world, and heroin, meth, stuff like that. And then they got the new designer drugs, ecstasy, flock, just do these things that are coming out that people tend to flock to when they got problems. And I feel like if we would kind of step back, take a different approach to all this, keep America healthy, um, as in free the healthcare, food, stuff like that. We could release more GOPs, kind of like genetics on the food that people wouldn't really trip about because right now they buy it themselves, so they're like really looking into doing this health stuff for themselves. Like it's not a thing that they've been doing their whole time, so they jump into it and they think a lot of this stuff's bad, and a lot of stuff may be bad. Um, but this would give us opportunity to get everybody on the same page. And I think health-wise, if we could get everybody on the same page, it'd make a more collective you know, people that you'd be seeing a lot more people at the doctor's office that you can talk to and become friends with, stuff like that, and you know, and then the healthcare profession, the people that wanted to get into it would have a guaranteed paycheck too, because not all checks are guaranteed, especially when you work at a hospital taking your internship and you need like 10,000 hours or something to get your doctorate. And so a lot of times they'll abuse those guys, or if the pandemic when it came out, like people couldn't go to work, but those were the guys that were there on the ground, and you know what I mean. And if you could, and that would make the healthcare field like a stable field, like food, housing, heat, the amenities field, because I think obviously our health is one of those things that we need to throw in there. You know what I mean? Because people don't just need shelter, food, and water, and a place to go to the bathroom at. Okay, they also need to stay healthy so they can take care of their kids and help grandma and grandpa out, or whatever the case is. You know what I mean? Go to work and provide for themselves, because that's probably a lot of the individuality that we're losing out on, and as a family, like you're still losing out on your individual identity. Okay, and it, and so we're trying to create more options for the everyday guy, and make him feel like he's wanted and part of the community and part of the country. And we really need to step up. And when you go outside, I'd suggest to everybody, once you see somebody, try to shake at least one hand today, and I mean, at least give a couple hellos, and always a smile, even if it's on the worst day. You just think of how bad it is, and just I mean, you get that little bit of humor on it, how you can't get any worse, and it does. You smile about that and smile at everybody, and it's gonna make a lot better place for everybody just tries. And it starts with one person stepping up and taking initiative, and that's what I'm doing right here. Instead taking initiative and saying that we need to bring back family, community, and make sure all that's healthy, that we're right before we step out in the world and start policing it, and saying that we're the right guys when we're not over here by ourselves. We got these obese people that are, our whole country is, there's a lot more obese people here than overseas. And then on the same side scale, we got so many homeless people, and people are crying about sending money over to these other countries that they've never been to. They don't know the hardships over there. I mean, and I'm not going to sit here and test them, but obviously if they're sending money over there, it's probably for a good reason. They have some kind of agenda. I mean, whatever the case is, why they're sending it, that it's not going to stop because of me and you. So if so, the whole key point of me running for president is to bring my ideas to the table, and start with us, and to make a healthier us, and then people won't have to worry about why do we pay China all this money back, or whatever it is, or why do we care about what England thinks, or somewhere over there, when they're healthy with themselves. They have I mean, they have a good paying job. I mean, their family's taken care of, stuff like that. They won't question because brother Mark's homeless, and he's a drug addict. He's been strung on heroin every day. But we gave Afghan people all the weapons to fight the Russians, and they took over. And now there's a flood of brown heroin. Okay, it's these kind of key points that people don't get. That these things come from all the way across the world to us, and we still take them, and we're proud to get them. I mean, I was there myself, and it's terrible. It's a terrible thing to think about, that how far these things come, and how alienated I was from everybody else. I was labeled as an outcast and stuff. I think if everybody would have open arms to me like a little bit sooner, maybe that problem would never develop, you know, because obviously I can see it was an accident, and it was a drug-related accident, and I'm not too proud of it, but in a sense it did teach me quite a bit of lessons. And I want to say that when I woke up in the hospital, that that's when I found I had a lot more family that cared for me, than a lot more friends that cared for me, that you know that I knew I even had, and it was a real eye opener. It sure didn't change me, but it changed a lot of my thinking, and it started me down a path to get to where I am today, so where I can make this video. And with that, I'm going to start on the second point, and that's drugs. I mean, we have a big problem in this world with about our feelings and covering them up, and we got all these problems that we try to mask and hide, and it's because our egos, and the first part of my video was about getting good health and right with each other. So if you could individually be right with yourself and stuff, you wouldn't have to rely on these drugs to go out into society and talk to a girl or guy, whatever the case may be, or go to school and stand up and do your little speech for the senior projects or whatever you guys got going on,